promise that started Christmas trees. Let's begin. The Evergreen Tree. Many, many years ago, there were two young best friends called Jack and Sarah. They lived with their families near each other's cottage in the woods. Ever since they arrived into the world within minutes of each other, they were inseparable. Jack and Sarah loved living in the woods. No matter what the season, as young children, it was their kingdom to explore and their quest for different adventures. The spring gave them the excitement of colors. The summer invited them to the lake. The autumn tickled their ears by the rustling of fallen leaves. And the winter amazed them with every snowflake it brought. To any child's eyes, their life in the woods was perfect. However, just as seasons change, life itself comes with many changes too. When Jack and Sarah turned 10, an unexpected news from their parents shattered their perfect little world. "We leave in the morning after tomorrow, son," Jack's father told him. "I am counting on you to be brave for your little brother and sister. We all need to help and support each other. Do you understand?" "Yes, father," was all Jack could say. For even though he was sad to leave the woods, he knew that it was what they needed to do as a family. Later that wintry night, as they sat by a campfire, Sarah and Jack told each other their family's plans of leaving the woods. "I wouldn't be so sad if only we were moving to the same place," Sarah cried. "Why do we have to go north when you're going south?" "I guess we just have to trust our parents. My father may have found work in a mill, and your father may have found work in a mine, but this is still home," Jack replied as he gestured to the woods that surrounded them. "Would you still be my friend even though we don't live close to each other anymore?" Sarah asked. "I promise. Listen, I'll come up with a plan tonight, and I'll tell you about it tomorrow, okay?" Jack replied reassuringly. "Okay." The next day, as Jack promised, he had a plan. "My mom and dad said that we will still come here to visit every now and then, and that's what your parents said too, right?" Jack asked hopefully. "Yes, they said that we still have to come here every so often to visit our cottage," Sarah replied. "Okay, so here's what we're going to do. See this tree?" Jack said as he pointed at a young evergreen tree that they always played and ran around. "Every time my family and I visit here, I am going to leave something for you on this tree. Whenever you come here to visit and find them, you will know that I was here and will always be your friend. Okay?" "Promise?" "I promise." "Okay, I like that. I'll do the same for you," Sarah agreed. A promise kept. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into a year. It was a cold winter's day when Sarah and her family arrived back in the woods to stay for Christmas. As soon as she finished helping her mom and dad with the chores, she ran over to Jack's house. To her sadness, there was nobody home. As she took a stroll before heading back to their cottage, she went to see the evergreen tree that Jack had pointed out the last time they spoke to each other. It got a little bigger after a year. She walked around it and checked the branches to see if Jack had been back yet and had left her a present. She was starting to feel disappointed when she noticed a small red box hanging by a string from one of the tree's branches. Sarah was so excited that she immediately ran to it and grabbed it off the tree. When she opened the box, she found a beautifully dried daffodil inside, and underneath it was a note that read, "Saved this flower in the springtime for you, Jack." Sarah was so delighted to hear from Jack. He was there in the woods last spring, and he remembered to keep his promise. As she carefully put the delicate dried flower back in the red box with Jack's note, she imagined how they used to pick as many different colors of flowers as they could during springtime, how they would hide the flowers around the woods and see who would find the most. Sarah wished that she and her family had come back in the spring instead. The next day, Sarah went back to the evergreen tree and hung a small white box on one of its branches. Inside it, she had put a pine cone that she found on her way home and a note that she wrote for Jack that said, "Found you a pine cone this winter, Sarah." After Christmas, Sarah and her family went back up north. She would have to wait again. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and if you like this one, give it a thumbs up and share.